Hey guys, it's me, cyoubx, and in this video I'm going to go over the top picks for 3x3s that Hey guys, it's me, cyoubx, and in this video I'm going to go over the top 3x3 picks that are available right now in early 2017. I've already showcased most of the cubes that are going to be featured in this video in past videos, so I'll leave links to those videos in the description below. But as a summary, in this video I'm going to be going over the Yan3, Gan356 Air, the WeiLong GTS, and the Valk 3, as well as the magnetic counterparts for all of those cubes. We'll start out with the two cubes that I don't think are really that noteworthy, the WeiLong GTS and the WeiLong GTS M. Out of all the cubes that I'm going to be talking about today, the WeiLong GTS, just the stock version, is probably the worst cube out of the box. It's really squishy and flimsy, you're going to get a lot of catches, and it takes a lot of breaking in to make the cube fairly usable. Breaking in does make the cube better, but again, it's a lot of work for a very minor improvement over other cubes that you could use straight out of the box. The GTS M, of course, has magnets, which makes the cube a lot more stable. However, the problem is that if you use the cube a lot, it actually ends up feeling pretty slow and sluggish. On one hand, that makes the cube super controllable. On the other hand, for me personally, I think it's a little bit too slow and it's not really that fun to use. But if you're someone with really sluggish turning or just really rough turning in general, the cube might be okay. In general though, I would say that the GTS and the GTS M are both fairly outdated cubes at this point. The rest of the cubes on this list though are all pretty good, and we'll start with the Gan356. The Gan356 Air is a fantastic cube. At $24, you're getting one of the best feeling cubes, and it's also one of the most forgiving in terms of turn style. Some people do have catching issues with this cube, but if you play around with the tensions and the different GES springs that come with whatever version you get, you should be able to get a cube that's extremely usable. This is my favorite non-magnetic cube, and it's easily the best non-magnetic cube of all time. Of course, $24 is really expensive, so if you want something that's basically just as good for half the price, I would highly recommend the Yan3. In my review of the Yan3, I mentioned that the cube was pretty generic feeling, and that's definitely true. It's not the most fun cube to use, but performance-wise and for the price, it really can't be beat. Coming in between the Gan356 Air and the Yan3 in price is the Valk 3. At $20, I would describe the Valk 3 as essentially a premium Yan3. The mechanisms are essentially the same, but you're getting a better feeling cube, and it just overall feels a lot higher quality than the Yan3. The springs in the Valk 3 seem to be a little bit stiffer than the Yan3, and so the result is a cube that feels slightly more blocky. The turning is very light and fast on the Valk 3, and so when you have to make small corner cuts, you'll really feel the springs coming into play, and sometimes that can kind of feel like a catch, even though it performs just fine and it can corner cut really well. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that blocky feel, but another really nice quality of the Valk 3 is that it is the smallest cube on this list, so if you have someone with small hands or you want a new one-handed cube, the Valk 3 might be a nice option. Of course, all of that being said, magnetic cubes are all the craze right now, and it's for good reason. The magnets provide a really sexy tactile feel, and they also provide a lot of stability to cubes that are otherwise quite flimsy, such as in the GTS. The newest of these cubes right now, of course, is the Gan356 Air UM. I really like this cube, but you should probably be aware that it was one of the hardest cubes I've ever had to set up. Depending on your choices of tensions, springs, and lube, you could get a cube that's either extremely sluggish or one that's uncontrollably fast. Most people who have reviewed the cube have ended up finding something that works for them, myself included, but it takes a lot of work. Now, if you're someone who likes to tinker around with different parameters of cubes like that, then you might really like this cube, because in the end you're going to get a cube that performs really well, and you're going to have a lot of fun in the meantime getting that cube to that state. But if you're kind of a beginner in terms of setting up cubes, or you just don't really want to spend that much time tinkering with stuff like that, then the 356 Air UM is not really that great of an option for you. The Valk 3M is definitely the best cube for people who want a smaller speed cube. Putting magnets inside the Valk 3 makes the cube extremely balanced. The corner cutting isn't that great, as I previously mentioned, for the regular Valk 3, but once you drop the magnets into the cube really aligns the layers a lot better, and you don't really need to corner cut at all with this cube. And quite frankly, I don't really have anything else to say about this cube. It's really good, and it's essentially a backup main for me at this point. I highly recommend it. And this, of course, brings us to the last cube on this list, which is the Yan3M. This is the cube that I keep recommending to people because I can't say enough good things about it. Not only is this the cheapest magnetic cube on this list, it's also the best cube on this list. In terms of corner cutting and pops, it's the same as all the other cubes. What makes it different is that the cube is really forgiving. It's a very nice balance of spring tensions versus corner cutting. You don't really feel like you're using any extra force in order to corner cut, and that makes a really big difference when you're doing real solves. In terms of feel, it's completely different from the regular Yan3. It's got a really crispy feel, and it's super stable because of the magnets. The cube is also really easy to set up in terms of speed. If you use something like Weight3 from Speedcube Shop, which is what I did originally, the cube is a little bit too fast. But if you add in something thicker, such as Traxxas 50K, which is what I ended up doing, the cube slows down quite a bit and it's nice and controllable. It's not only one of the easiest cubes to set up, it's also one of the easiest cubes to modify. There's really only one place to put the magnets on the corner pieces, so you do that first and you really can't mess up. I never made a review on my magnetized Yan3, but rest assured it's a really good cube and everyone who has tried it so far has also really liked it. So that's about it for this video. Leave any questions you have in the comment section below and I'll try to help. Links to all the cubes are in the description, along with my social media and Patreon if you're interested. I hope you found this video useful, and make sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this one. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, toodles. Hey guys, it's me, cyoubx, and in this video I'm going to go over the top picks for 3x3s currently available in early 2017. Oh, my elbows just cracked.